This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. 2 hospitals in western Wisconsin closed today. HSHS announced in January it would close Sacred Heart Hospital in Eau Claire and St. Joseph's Hospital in Chippewa Falls. Prevea Health is also closing its clinics across western Wisconsin this spring. Wisconsin's child care industry could run out of government subsidies in June of next year. After that, Governor Evers says there could be trouble for Wisconsin child care centers, the workers who depend on them, and the businesses that depend on the workers.
This is no hyperbole going on here. There will be lots of people that will be going out of business, and we can't afford it as a state.
More with Evers on the Empowered Caregiver this weekend on Civic Media. Political advertisements in Wisconsin with content made by artificial intelligence will now have to have a disclaimer. The bipartisan bill is designed to help voters decide whether what they see is true or not. It's one of 54 bills Governor Evers signed into law yesterday. Wisconsin voters could add 2 amendments to the state constitution on April 2nd. One would outlaw private donations to local election officials. Sam Liebert is with the group All Voting is Local. He's urging people to vote no.
There's so much concern about third-party funding. Let's have that discussion in the state budget, at our local levels.
The other question would specify who can legally serve as a poll worker in Wisconsin. Democrats say the amendments would make it harder to vote. Republicans say they'd promote election integrity. Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Janet Protasewicz says she won't recuse herself from a case about voting on wheels. She denied a request for recusal yesterday, even though the court hasn't decided if it'll take the case. Conservatives are suing the city of Racine, claiming a voting van to collect absentee ballots was illegal. Wisconsin got off to a snowy start to the day. The National Weather Service issued a winter weather advisory for most of the state through mid-morning. The Department of Transportation was asking drivers to slow down and leave plenty of room for snowplows. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Duluth City Council is considering upgrades to some of the popular outdoor recreational areas in the city. 3 resolutions were discussed at the City Council's agenda session on Thursday, which could bring big improvements to Hawks Ridge, Perch Lake Landing, and Chester Park. At Chester Park, officials are raising money to renovate and expand the Tom Storm Chalet to make it larger and more ADA accessible. The resolutions would seek grant funding to undertake the improvement projects. The Gary New Duluth Rec Alliance is looking for a big check from the City Council. According to a Northern News Now report, the organization is seeking $1 million from the Duluth City Council to build a new skate park to go alongside their performance pavilion, dog park, and basketball court. Officials say they're hoping the addition will continue to build the park as an important community space. The City Council could vote on the construction contract presented to them as soon as Monday's meeting. In contrast to the warmer weather that's been creeping into the region, western Wisconsin residents woke up to some snow on the ground on Friday. A winter weather advisory was put into effect overnight through 10 a.m. on Friday, warning that most areas across western Wisconsin would see at least a couple inches of snow. Some weather officials expect the snowfall could be closer to 5 inches in certain areas. They also say some light winds should keep the snow from causing too many visibility problems out on the roads. One Duluth resident will have some extra money to spend after buying a $50,000 Powerball ticket. According to the Minnesota Lottery Office, the winning ticket was sold at the Bristol Street Super One on Wednesday, which matched 4 out of the first 5 numbers and the Powerball number. The winning numbers were 13, 22, 27, 54, and 66 with a Powerball number of 9. Lottery officials are still waiting for somebody to claim the ticket. The winner of the ticket can claim it by visiting the lottery office or through the mail. The Superior Plan Commission met Wednesday to vote on requests made regarding the Namaji Trail Energy Center project. Minnesota Power requested that the property where the plant will reside be rezoned for street vacation on nearby undeveloped roads and to reopen the City of Superior's comprehensive plan. All 3 requests were denied by the Plan Commission, which includes Superior Mayor Jim Payne. Mayor Payne has been a vocal critic of the project due to its proposed location near a residential area. A Duluth man has been charged after allegedly sexually assaulting a woman in the Skywalk system. According to court documents, 71-year-old Adrian Tremaine Green Sr. was charged with first, second, and third-degree criminal sexual conduct. The victim allegedly approached Green asking if he had any money. He told her he could take money out of an ATM for her and then began making threatening remarks before sexually assaulting her. The victim called the police following the incident, who found and arrested Green. St. Louis County officials are promoting property tax refund programs for residents. According to a Northern News Now report, officials say nearly a third of Arrowhead residents qualified for a property tax refund in 2021. There are two programs, the regular homestead credit and the special homestead credit. Those with a household income of less than $135,000 qualify for the regular credit. The special credit is open to properties that had a tax increase of over 12% in the last year. Duluth public school teachers will be receiving a raise in their next two contracts. The Duluth School Board voted unanimously to approve raises for their teaching staff over the next 4 years. Teachers will receive a 6% raise this year, a 3% raise next year, and 2% raises in each of the next 2 years. School officials said the raises are meant to show teachers the school board appreciates their hard work in creating a great learning environment. There will also be 4 new professional development opportunities. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
Badger women in the Frozen Four. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Wisconsin Badgers women's hockey team, led by Kirsten Sims, are in New Hampshire for the Frozen Four, looking to repeat as national champions. They face off tonight against Colgate. Badgers head coach Mark Johnson.
Obviously, the magnitudes of the game are higher. Everybody can see the finish line now. There's only 4 teams left, and the season's over on Sunday, and somebody's going to be a national championship Sunday afternoon, early evening.
Baseball, the Brewers lost to the Giants last night, 7-6. That snapped Milwaukee's 5-game winning streak. NBA, the Bucks down the Nets 114-108. Giannis able to play after missing 2 games with a sore hamstring. March Madness. It's the Badgers and James Madison University. Wisconsin back in the big dance for the first time in 2 years. Max Klesman asked if they're excited for tonight's game.
For sure. Yeah, no, I can't wait. I can't wait to just go out there and shoot around and put up a shot at the March Madness logo during the shoot around.
With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Patricia Ward Kelly is ending a long drought of people having no idea who she is. Ward Kelly was a TV writer in her mid-20s in 1985 when she met Hollywood legend and Singin' in the Rain star Gene Kelly, who was in his mid-70s. Oof. But the widow Kelly said she never considered their age difference. They fell in love but took things slow, marrying 5 years later, which would have put Kelly in his 80s. Whew, if ever there was a time to rush into something. There will be a third and final Downton Abbey film coming to theaters. The New York Post reports Imelda Staunton, who plays Lady Maud Bagshaw, will return, as will Oscar nominee Paul Giamatti, who returns as Harold Levinson. Staunton let the news of the threequel slip in an interview with the BBC. She says she doesn't care if she wasn't supposed to say anything or gets in trouble for doing so. Now that's just cheekiness for cheekiness' sake. Pete Davidson will not be returning for a second season of Bupkis. But it's Davidson who is pulling the plug on the Peacock show, which is a semi-autobiographical look at his life. Davidson says he wants that chapter of his life to be over, which wouldn't be so bad, except that fans of the show will be left in the lurch since season 1 ended with a car crash in which his character's fate was uncertain. Not a good sign when even the star of the show doesn't care what happens to the main character. It was a great run for Jeopardy rock star Ben Chan, but all good things must come to an end. The St. Norbert philosophy professor went on a Jeopardy run that saw him finish 16th all-time in regular play with over $250,000 in winnings and 25th all-time with $354,000 in change. In addition to all his winnings, Chan hosted several watch parties in the Green Bay area where he was cheered on by local folks. Thanks for letting us be part of your fun ride, Ben. Now, how about Alone? A new trailer dropped for American Horror Story, Delicate Part 2. In the trailer, Kim Kardashian and Emma Roberts play best friends who share a kiss. Fans attacked Kardashian's acting ability on multiple platforms soon after, and the New York Post reports that the comments on social media were overwhelmingly negative. People on social media reacting negatively? Who ever heard of such a thing? The 12th season of the popular FX show drops April 3rd and can be streamed the next day on Hulu. The Boss is back. The New York Post reports Bruce Springsteen has resumed his tour that was paused due to multiple illnesses that started last August, 2 days after I saw him live. Winning! One of the illnesses was undisclosed. The other 2 were peptic acid disease and COVID-19. The Boss is officially back playing his typical 3-hour shows in multiple cities and countries over the next 9 months, unless he comes down with rickets or scurvy. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, every night between 7 and 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Light snow will gradually end this morning, and we may actually see a little sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today, 36, with wind out of the north at 5 to 15. Tonight, clear 13. Tomorrow, sun in the morning, clouds in the afternoon, 34. With more snow tomorrow night, and that's going to be the beginning of a fairly significant storm system that'll impact our region into early next week. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now, it's 22.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.